Wait, you are. No.
Ah!
Yeah, wait. There you go.
I'm here.
Perfect. That's crazy. And you know, I don't know why this is happening lately. But anyway. Good year.
I never understand this stuff. So like this is the first, like you're the only one that I've ever done this with, and it gives me the stress of the actual technology is more than the stress of the actual chat.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But yeah, I'm currently working on to kind of move to try besides here, like to try it either on Zoom and then record it and send them over. I mean, I'm still like been thinking into a lot of stuff to kind of switch like every now and then just to switch over Instagram and do it in any other platform, because sometimes it's just But anyway, welcome back. It is so cool that you're here. Like, what has been like you were actually on season 1 when I recently started. That's so crazy, which was like in July, August, June, something.
I'm like, we're coming up on a year. It had to have been, right?
Yeah, because I started.
I don't know. It's pandemic times. What even is time?
Yeah, I know. So I started this the week after June 4th. So I think July
of 2022?
No, 2021.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it had to have been at least a year.
How crazy, right? That's crazy. Huh.
And I've been to your country since then.
Yeah. I found out. How was it?
It was good. We did the all-inclusive resort situation, which is give and take.
Oh, yeah.
You get what you pay for, and but other than that, Mexico was great.
Yeah.
We did like ATVs, and we went to the cenotes and the Mayan ruins. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
The resorts are fine, it's for some people.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, all included. I love it. And I'm like that type of person that wants to use all of it. You know what I mean? Like, make sure that I use like every single thing, and to all of it. Because
I think my favorite thing was that they had a Queen cover band, and I love Queen, and they were so good. I had a blast just sitting there dancing and singing. That was fun.
That's so cool. You went there in December.
For Christmas. Yeah. I went for Christmas.
Yeah. So it was after the whole hurricane stuff happened. Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh wait, y'all had hurricanes?
Yeah, of course. I mean, not right now, but I think that on September or October, I think there was this hurricane that apparently was, it's like one of the things that I've discovered is that every new year there is a new hurricane that is going to destroy everything. It's warmer and it's colder, so it's like every new year, right? So for last year on September there was this hurricane. I think that it was September or October. Anyway, that it was gonna it was super bad. And actually a friend of mine was there with his girlfriend, and they had to basically stay inside and not able to do anything because everything was closed, and they were like moving everybody to to this kind of refugees. Like refugee houses or something.
Yeah.
And it was an adventure. I mean, at the end when he came back, he was like, I mean, it was not the vacation that I planned.
How far are you from where I was in Cancun?
Like with plane, a couple of 2 hours, I think.
Okay, so it wasn't too close.
Yeah, I mean by car it takes like a day, but but with plane like 2 hours probably. Yeah,
okay.
3 hours. Yeah. But hey, I'm glad that you actually had a good time. I'm glad that you guys have a lot of fun. That's cool. I was every now and then like on the post you put, I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, awesome. You're like doing it right.
Doing it right. Yeah, I love it. Like every now and then, whenever
that photo with the Mexican military, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how we go. Yeah.
Apologies in advance. My pup is trying to play, so.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's trying to get some love.
It's okay. I understand. But yeah. I actually with my puppy, I ended up understanding that when I do this, it's better that if the puppy just stay like outside the room, because it's been several videos in the middle of it, and then you will see the puppy like jumping, or like really like poking his face like this and just like turning and then going away.
Oh, that's so
like
funny though. We love it.
Yeah, that's so cool. But no, he's now not that small anymore. So he's kind of a little big boy now. But anyway, so welcome back. As I said, it is so amazing, and yeah, it is so epic. It is so epic that you're back here. I mean, what can I say? It's been a really epic long journey that I have at the moment. Now, before I start, I need to give you a proper welcome. I don't know if for season 1 I did it for you, but let me show you. Cool. At some
Love
point
it.
we're gonna have live audience. At some point we're gonna have live audience. We're still working on that. But anyway, so besides going on vacation, tell me, what have you been up to lately?
Since we last chatted, I have a full-time job now, so that's new.
Yeah.
Full-time producing.
Cool.
And yeah, just kind of figuring out life after COVID, and I don't even know if you can even say that anymore, because who knows if it's over or whatever, but like, yeah, just figuring things out and trying to stay as positive and as motivated as I can.
Yeah.
Which I think is everybody's journey and challenge right now.
Yeah, totally. And now, like, especially that in some places now, it's okay for you to don't have a mask. But it's so interesting that you got used to it that much that now if you go outside without it, or you're like in a public place without it,
yeah,
you feel weird. It's so interesting.
I mean, that's for sure how I feel. Like, we in LA have gone maskless now, or not requiring masks if you're vaccinated. But there's definitely some situations where I'm just like, I'm so accustomed to it, and I'm so used to it that like I'm just gonna keep doing it. Like even today, like I was around somebody who didn't have COVID, they were just ill, and I was like, I just feel like I need to put this on, like. I feel like we're highly aware, whereas before I was like, I'm gonna roll in mud, I'm gonna eat off of the ground or whatever, and now I'm a little bit more careful.
Yeah, totally. And it's so interesting that like, for example, 5 years ago, if you saw someone with a mask, you were like, what is wrong with this guy? Or like, are you okay? Like it was like really weird to see someone with a mask. And like putting sanitizer, you were like, what is wrong with you? It's so interesting, like how things change it so fast.
And I feel like we'll get back to that position in like 10 years from now. We'll get back to that space, and it'll just be a distant memory. But as of now, it's like it's an interesting in between gray area. Yeah,
it is so interesting. And it happened to me also that I went to the store, and then I saw like all the people without the mask. And I felt weird, like, what is wrong with everyone?
Ends up.
And like, yeah. And like, even like, one of the employees on the store was like, it's okay, you can remove the mask. I was like, really? Yeah, you can. I mean, everybody's not wearing it. I was like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep it. It's just weird. But yeah, it's so interesting now that we're going back. I mean, I do hope that all of this kind of safety measures and all of this importance for cleaning and sanitizing stuff and everything. I do hope that we stay on that road, because actually it's really cool. I mean, I do like it that much of importance they did to that. Now I'm hoping that they continue that same path, which
I agree.
I highly doubt.
I didn't realize how negligent we were before.
You're right. Right? It was crazy.
It makes you think.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and also, and now you feel weird that you like. Yeah, basically it's crazy. But now it's so interesting and nice that we're not kind of having like the chance to be back and everything. And as you said, I'm super sure that in 10, 12 years, everybody's gonna be like, yeah,
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. But anyway. We can see also this year that you were the producer in the upcoming short film Till the World Ends. Now tell me about it.
So we actually shot it almost exactly a year ago today. That is a film that my friend Chelsea wrote. She wrote it randomly as a challenge to herself, and I read it. She's like, "Hey, I just want to share this with you. I want you to see what you think." And I was like, "Holy cow! I need to, like, I want to make this right away." It was something different where I felt like I just really had this urge of like, I want to make this. Like, I want to make this happen. Yeah. And I had produced before on probably the same scale, but I was very rusty. So I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to get back into my producing skills, back into kind of the gist of things, and also do something for a friend that is otherwise would maybe not get done. Yeah. She, voiced to me how in past she'll do things and she'll get really excited and then it never comes to fruition. And for me, I'm the opposite, whereas like I think of things and I want to do them, but I don't do them, and I'll always do somebody else's fruition. So I was like, cool, let's put these two together. Let's like make it a thing. Yeah. And it was really fun and exciting. We got a bunch of people that we've all worked with together in the past, and it was a 2-day shoot. We did one day just kind of locally, and then we went to the desert for another day. So we're very fortunate in Los Angeles to be hours away from different like, climates and temperatures and things like that. So this scene called for like a desert sand dune vibe. So the second day we drove hours out to the sand dunes and we shot there, which it's a lot to prep and things like that, but the dunes are beautiful. It's like you feel like you're in Star Wars because all of a sudden these like dunes are just everywhere and there's nothing and nowhere. And at one point our car broke down. And like immediately we're just like, holy cow, like we're in the desert in the middle of nowhere. Our car is broken down. We still have to make all these shots and before the sun sets. And we only have like 2 hours before the sun sets. It was really hectic, and we had to call AAA, and I don't know how AAA got there. They figured it out and got the car working, but it was crazy. But that film, as soon as a lot can happen in post-production, it can either make or break it in post-production. And when I saw the final cut, I was just like so in awe of how beautiful it was, and how basically everything we wanted was covered. We didn't no pickups, like it was great. Like, and to me the score is what made it like 100% like off the pages. The score like killed the movie for us. So I got the final cut back in, I want to say January, so almost a full year of post-production, well, less than a year of post-production, and then it got sent out to festivals, and right now we have been accepted into the Sunscreen Festival in Florida. And next Wednesday I'll be at the North Hollywood mini Cinefest at Glenley, North Hollywood, so we'll be presenting it there. And that's exciting for me because I want to see like what other people are doing, and I want to see what other people are thinking and like making and things like that. Like I'm really excited to see what comes out of it creatively. Yeah. That's
so cool. And what are some of the things that we can expect in that film? I mean, without giving too much, like what can we expect?
So it's so funny because we had filmed this, like I said, like almost a year ago. And then as soon as I watched Don't Look Up, I was like, crap.
Okay.
So Don't Look Up, and then I just watched a movie on my plane ride home the other day, and it was How It Ends. which is like a comedy of two like comedian women in Los Angeles. And it's like, if those two kind of like merge together, this is our film. It's basically like the world is ending, the sun is getting closer and closer to Earth, and we're gonna basically overheat as a society. And what do you choose to do in your last like hours of time? And what this one girl chooses to do, and what she thinks about, and what she contemplates, and what she struggles with, and kind of just like facing her life up until now in this final scene.
That's deep.
It's like, what would you do? Who would you call? What would you do?
Yeah, what would you do?
Oh my gosh. I mean, obviously, immediately my parents and my sister. I'd call them and just everything. Like, I'm like, at that point, do you just like call the people that, you know, you've like had issues with and just say things, or do you focus on your loved ones? I would probably just focus on my loved ones. I don't know. Maybe eat like everything
At once?
I don't know, like a big old meal. A big old meal of like just like anything. Calories don't count.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, it's you know, it's so interesting, the fact that so it's so interesting that you normally don't think that what if this is my last day, you know? I mean, for example, I tend to always say like, oh, tomorrow I will do this, and after the day after tomorrow I'm gonna do that and whatever. But like, whenever I get the chance to be like, what if this is the last day, you get like, oh, you know, like so many things to do. But you know, it's
I think it's better that we don't think like that, to me. I mean, like, if we just think that, like, well, maybe not, because then, yeah, I don't know. It's such a like trivial thing. It's like, do you think that every day is your last and you live it out, or do you just continue to keep going and like pace your, like, I don't know. It's such a weird concept, and you're gonna have me thinking the rest of the night now like this, and I'm gonna be I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what if? Because, for example, I had Omicron, and I was feeling like crap. And the thing is that
when did you have it?
Like 3 months? No, like 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
3 months ago, yeah. And the problem was, when the whole vaccination thing happened, I was in the middle of building Chat with Dan, so I totally forgot about it. I mean, I was working inside, so I just didn't occur to my mind what was going on. And then when I realized I wanted to get vaccinated, and they were like, oh, you're too late. So I was like, so I'm not vaccinated. No, you're not vaccinated. I was like, okay. So later on, I had Omicron, and I was just feeling like, I was feeling horrible, because I was like, okay, so I'm not vaccinating. I do smoke.
Oh no!
You know. So like I think like 1-2 days, I was feeling like that pressure on it, that because I was, and also like how, and it's interesting how powerful the mind is, that you think about it like oh, like the minimum feeling you feel, like you feel sick, and you're like, yeah, this is it, or you're like coughing, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna choke now, you know, like, it's so interesting, like all of that happened. And I pushed myself in order to like make sure that at least everything on the platform was good to go. And I was even telling my friends like, hey, listen, man, if I die, here is everything for the platform. It's good to go. You're gonna take it from now. Just make sure that everything keeps working. You know, it was
That's
just crazy.
So funny.
Yeah, it was just crazy. I mean, and luckily nothing but happened here. But yeah, thinking like that, it's horrible. So I do understand that you can think of it, but not let yourself go into that so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah, like you really can spin yourself in a dark place when you go there. This girl in the movie goes to a dark place at some point. And it's just interesting kind of how that plays out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, those type of films, I like it. Like Don't Look Up, I loved it.
Yeah.
Such a great film. So yeah.
I was like, dang it, we did something so similar. But we didn't know. This was way before that. But yeah, it was a great film. Loved it.
Yeah.
I have some hot takes on it. I didn't love Meryl Streep, which is not in that film.
Okay.
Which is, I think, a very hot take. I didn't love Jonah Hill in that film either. I think they gave them too much free reign to improv and tell. But overall, it was great. Overall, it was good. It was meaningful, and yeah, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's one of my tops. Do you have your top films of the year?
Oh, you mean this year?
Yeah, for like the Oscars. Do you guys watch the Oscars?
Yeah, I mean, I used to 3 years, like, so basically I used to, I think that I watched like only once or two in my life, but you know, because of the whole chat with and thing and everything, I was like, well, I need to like get myself informed and to watch all of that. So definitely I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah.
But for this year, I haven't gone to the. I think the last time I went to the movies was to watch Spider-Man. Yeah, that was the last film that I. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see the new Batman. That's the next one on my list.
Yeah. I want to do that too because a lot of people have told me that it's amazing, that it's really cool.
But it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like when movies like that are that long, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I can't think of the last time I've seen a movie that long, so we'll see. I usually just sit there and I'm like, they could have cut this. They could have cut this. This didn't need to be here. It's usually how I handle those type of movies.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Or like, for example, when they released the Snyder Cut for the Justice League, what was like 4 hours, 5 hours, 4 something like it. I mean, I ended up watching it like one day at a time. You know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna.
I think that's smart. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, because like sitting and watch like a full time 4 hours. No, I mean, I think that also if a film is too long, you eventually start to get bored.
But then I think to myself, and I'm like, oh no, am I just like this new age person that can't handle a lot of, like, that has such a short attention span and blah, blah, blah. And then I go into this place where I'm like, oh no, am I getting too caught up in quick content, you know?
Yeah. I wish back when I was a kid that I could have like long films. You know, I think that back then, like the films lasted like the usual, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hour and a half was like general.
Right? I mean, 2 hours, it was like crazy. Whenever you hear like a film that was lasting 2 hours, you were like, that's crazy. I think the Lord of the Rings did that, right?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter were like the first to come out with that. I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now like most of all films now last like 2 hours, at least 2 hours.
It's like the new norm.
Oh. Well, I hope that at some point we don't get into 5-6 hours. Otherwise, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh God, I don't think films have the budget for that.
Yeah, I don't think that either. Well, actually, yeah, I don't think that. Well, depends. If it's Disney, I mean now, like Star Wars, as I see in the comments, I mean they can do that though, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think he's saying that Star Wars was like one of the first ones to do 2 hour long movies.
The old ones?
I don't know.
Really? The old ones lasted 2 hours?
You're gonna look it up now.
Oh yeah. I'm so gonna look it up.
I have no clue.
Let's see now. Longest. Okay, so the longest was, Attack of the Clones. No, wait, no. The longest was The Rise of Skywalker. That lasted 155 minutes. That is like 2 hours.
2.5. Almost 2.5.
2.5, yeah. Yeah, Star Wars did that with The Rise of Skywalker. and also with The Last Jedi, and also with Attack of the Clones, and also with Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, Star Wars, I think.
Okay, go Star Wars.
Yeah. Did you watch like the new show they released, or was it the Book of Jango, something like that?
No, I haven't really been into much Star Wars, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Mandalorian and stuff, I never got into either.
What, you haven't?
No.
You need to watch that.
I don't even think I've seen that many of the original Star Warses, period.
But the cool thing here is that, I mean, for example, at that moment when The Mandalorian I was dating someone and she didn't understand anything of Star Wars. They haven't watched anything of Star Wars, and she loved it, because it was so
really?
interesting that they just kind of hint a little bit what happened, but not like necessary that you need to watch all of it,
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good to know. So it is like kind of standalone.
Yeah. So interesting. And like in general, I mean, so when we did our first episode, we talked about that you have produced some projects here and there. But tell me, like in general, what are some of the things that you like the most about producing? Because I understand that basically when you're producing a project, it's basically resting on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's a good way of putting it. It's like resting on your shoulders, and it's a lot of admin and a lot of creative thinking.
Yeah.
And it's kind of being right brain. What's the one where that's creative and the one that's not creative? It's whatever it is. It's taking the opposite. It's honing the creativity in people and making it come to fruition. So I think a lot of people are very creative and they have these big ideas and these concepts, and it's very ethereal and things like that. And I take those and I will put them into kind of like a basics and make sure scheduling is done, shot lists are done, casting is good to go. Like all the behind the scenes that you don't see is kind of what I do. And I didn't realize until recently that it's like what I've always kind of done. Like even growing up in like middle school and high school, I was always like the dance committee chair and like student council and planning the staff appreciation days and things like that. So I was always the one growing up who was that and did that. So I'm now starting to look back and see kind of like a through line and a pattern that I put myself in that I just never realized. But now I get to do it in a fun way.
Yeah. But how you handle the stress? Because I understand that it might happen that things are just not working at all, and like everything is looking that it's falling apart. So how you handle the stress to keep focused, to instead of just break down, to just like finding a way to fix it as soon as possible. So how you handle that?
I think a lot of it is just naturally like how I function and how my brain functions in a problem-solving manner. But also, I've learned recently, and it's probably not like the best idea, but what I've been doing is finding a venting buddy. So somebody that I can trust that like is going to listen to me vent when I have something come up, and I'm like, I just need to say these things and get them out there. I don't need any form of like advice. I don't need any form of like I just need someone to like hear me say my grievances, and then I can move forward from there. So finding somebody that is like a venting buddy that like will hear you out, listen to you. You can voice all these things without opinion or anything like that. And then obviously somebody who keeps good secrets as well, because who knows what you're gonna say.
Yeah, of course.
Finding a good venting buddy is great. Organization is key.
Totally.
So you kind of learn the hard way of what works and doesn't work organizationally, but making sure that you have lists and you have things to reference back to. Like, I take notes about everything. I have post-it notes throughout my entire place, just ready to go in case anything pops up. I have it in my car, and I'm just like writing things down because I don't want to forget. But yeah, handling stress that way. I think really just like finding a buddy, finding someone that relates to you. And maybe somebody also in the industry who can understand. And if they've been in those positions, then I'm like, okay, I can actually take that feedback. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, venting buddy, huh? Yeah.
Find yourself a venting buddy.
Yeah, hashtag find yourself a venting buddy. I like that.
Get yourself a venting
Yeah. I actually, yeah, I would like that. I'm gonna find one. But anyway.
Find one.
Yeah, because I understand. Yeah, it is so cool whenever you get the chance to kind of venting out. It doesn't matter if the other person is actually listening or not, but the fact that, you can just like say everything and you're like, okay, I'm fine. And then just moving forward, that's interesting.
Yeah. And most of the time, like I said, you don't want to get like advice, or you don't want to get like...
Yeah, that's the thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want like that kind of support. You just want someone to listen to you. Basically, like, shut up and listen. That's it.
Which is, you can say the same thing for relationships, It's like, it kind of translates a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense actually, huh?
We're getting deep.
We're getting super deep here. Okay. Maybe at some point you definitely need to write a book.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'll produce a book. I won't write it, I'll produce it. Someone else will write it for me.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And like, with your career at the moment, like, what has been some of the highlight? Yeah, like, what has been some of the highlight things that you had? So basically, you have done everything. I mean, from writing to producing to directing to acting. I mean, and all of the multiple things that you're doing here and there. I mean, basically, that is badass. But tell me, like, what are some of those highlight things that you have until your career at the moment?
I think the word like favorite or highlight is very hard for me because I'm always, it's never enough. And I know that sounds like probably not healthy. But to me, I'm always like, okay, what's the next thing? Or I will forget things. But if I think on like a micro level, I think like in this past 2 years, I started going back on stage again. That was a highlight. I have a full-time job now where I'm producing, and that's a highlight for me in the sense of like, I found a career and a stable path doing what I love and what I'm good at. And, financially being stable in that aspect. I think, there's so many like little highlights, and I have trouble like thinking of them off the bat. I'm always like, what's next? What's new? But that's what I can think of right now, is just kind of like making new friendships over films, and
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, so interesting. An actor reached out to me on LinkedIn the other day, because I'm a producer and I put all my producing things on LinkedIn, and they were like, keep me in mind for any films you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay.
That's cool.
I used to be that actor. I'm still that actor that does that. But it's just cool to like...
Yeah, we're being on the other side now.
Yeah.
I can understand that. That is so cool. And I think also that we all have like our own definition of highlight, I mean, as you just mentioned, I was having this conversation actually a couple of hours ago. We were talking about like what is success, and the person that I was like the friend that I was speaking to it, he was telling me like, well, for me success would be having like this huge house and 3-4 cars and a jet and whatever, and then we were like constantly like going back and forth, because for me I was saying, for me success would be just to have like a good life, having the chance to have like your own house, maybe one car. I mean, if it's needed, if not, that's cool. But I think like the most important would be, or at least to me, success would be to do the thing that makes you happy, because I do believe that that right now, having the chance to do what you love, it is hard, and for example, especially with some of my friends, or even people that I know, that they want to do something different in life,
Yeah.
but they can't, and they're stuck in this endless job, and they basically hating it, and it's crazy. So
yeah,
I
I mean, I was listening to a podcast recently, and they brought up this question as well. I guess it's like a hot topic right now. It's like, what is success? And to them, it was like just like happy, content. Like if we're constantly living in a state of fear, in a state of like trouble, then like success is the opposite, which is like stability and happiness and content.
Yeah, it's true. It for me, it felt so interesting. Couple of months ago, I received this message from someone on Instagram saying like, "Hey, I love what you do. It's amazing. Keep rocking, whatever." And I was like, "That's so cool." Like those type of like messages that for some people would be like, meh. Like it's so interesting. It's so interesting to having like the chance to kind of to inspire people, I think, and also for me that would be kind of success at the same time. Yeah, it's so interesting, that question. I think that everybody has like their own thing.
I think if we start thinking of success and highlights and favorites as like a more like mini micro level than a macro like ethereal like overall spirit, I think that's where happiness comes from. Is like if you start pivoting your mindset of success and highlights to more of like a smaller vision. Like, what was your success of today? What was your success or your highlight of this week versus a lifetime?
Yeah,
I think you'll find a lot more happiness and a lot more wins and a lot more to be proud of.
Yeah, and I do think that life also gets simple. It gets more simple and like more easy to like to digest, maybe.
Yeah.
And like what keeps you motivated? We all have those days, right, in which we want to quit. We just think that what we're doing it's bad, that is not working. Then we start to compare ourselves with others, and we see how they are like literally in so much position, let's say, than you. So I think that getting inside of this toxic thought is super easy, right? But on your case, like, what gets you out of it? What gets you just to keep doing what you do and keep doing what makes you happy, basically?
So hard. I think prior, like, I know you had reached out to me several months back to like do another one of these, and I was just highly unmotivated. I was in a space of like, I don't even know if I'm going to continue anymore. And I think I think I go through those phases a lot, but the one thing that like keeps me focused and keeps me back, well, actually two. I mean, the one is like, I just think of my younger self and like when I was really little and like I had this massive dream and this drive. Like, you could not tell me, you really could not tell me no. You couldn't, like, I was just gonna do whatever. And I just remember that and that tenacity and that hunger, and then I just think of like, would I be proud? Or would I be like, if I were to look at myself back then, like, would she be proud? What would she do? It's really interesting to look at yourself from a younger thing and be like, I was better then, or like I had more of this then. So like that, and then also kind of like what the opposite. So I think about the past, and then I'll think about the future, like years down. And I'm, okay, do I look back on myself and say, I wish I wouldn't have given up? And 100% of the times, it's always, yes, I wish I wouldn't have. So the extremes of like the past and the future are what kind of like keep me going, because it's like my younger self never wanted me to quit, and my younger self never like gave up and had the tenacity of you could not tell me no. And my older self is going to look back and is going to say, I'm glad that you continued and I'm glad that you fought. And that's kind of my motivation, or what keeps me going in general. We're getting real deep on this.
We're getting super deep here.
Deep.
We're getting super deep, but yeah. No, yeah, I understand that because, yeah, the same thing happened here. I think like a month ago. I was just like thinking about it, like, you know what, I'm just done with this. You know,
Yeah.
I was.
Well, what you do too is a lot of work. Like your specifically, it's a lot of work.
And that's the thing. When I started it, I didn't realize that much of work that it was gonna be. You know, at first I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I started it, and then it was just like downloading the audio and putting on Spotify, and that was it. But then later on, I was like, wait a minute, why I don't put it on YouTube, and then went on Apple Podcast and on Google Play, and like like in different platforms and here and there, and why not also having a Facebook page? Like,
yeah.
When I started to discover all of those things, and at the same time working on new episodes here and there. I remember at that moment when I started, since I didn't have a job, I had a lot of time. So I was basically having like 5-6 episodes in one day, or like even like 8. I think the record I have is 10 people in one day. And that is a day that I'm never going to do it again because
I emotionally, that's emotionally draining.
It was, I felt like the last 2 of them, I was just super tired. I worked, I was like, okay, I need to actually, I need to prepare. So I did my very best. It was really cool. But the last one that I interviewed, I was like, don't get it the wrong way. I have like 9 episodes. I know it was your fault. It's mine because I didn't plan it properly. But just bear with me. If I look tired, don't think I'm bored. Just giving you a heads up. They were like, yeah, not a problem. I understand. But yeah, that was the thing that happened to me. That when I started it, I never knew that it was gonna be like this much of a hard work. I thought that everybody can make a podcast, and it's true. You see now, and everybody's doing a podcast now, right? But what I ended up discovering is that if you wanted to like more people to reach it and to involve more things here and there, you need to work harder and harder and harder. And December was my breaking point, because when I started on December, I was like, I don't think any actor is gonna say yes. Come on, holidays, all of them, it's gonna be with families, friends. So I don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm gonna send a couple of messages. Like I think like 100, something like that. And most of them replied. I was like, oh, okay. So that was really cool. I got the chance to interview so many cool people, and
if you think about it too, around that time is actors like down season, so they're like, yes, like that is like,
yeah, I never thought about it.
I have the time.
Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't thought about it.
It bites you in the butt there.
Yeah, I didn't thought about it, but it was really cool. I got the chance to interview a lot of cool people again, and to interview also 2 actors that I'm a huge fan of what they do, like super fans. So that was really cool. So, but the thing is that like so much content to it, and also on December I decided to have my Christmas episode. So it was January. No, it was like finishing. It was like super close to Christmas, and I haven't uploaded any Christmas episode. And then I was like, I need to do it. But the problem was that as I was working on that, new episodes were coming. So I ended up at some point I was just crushing and be like, I can't do this anymore. But
there's always like a honeymoon phase where you start a project or something like that, and you're like so gung ho, and it's the same with producing. It's the same with acting. It's the same with anything. Like you're very excited, and then like all of a sudden you get into the thick of the weeds, and you have to expand. Ultimately.
Yeah, and yeah, that's like that process that I've been doing now. That besides doing the interviews, now I'm doing movie reviews. Now I'm doing shows reviews, and now I'm doing also Twitch. Yeah, like doing some gameplay on Twitch and music also. There's so many things that I want to include on the show. So Chat with Dan have like more things to watch, besides just the interviews, and having the chance like to have like more stuff here and there. It's really cool. But as I'm working on that, and also I'm working on kind of a small like 5-episode show that I'm currently working on my experience on that company that I used to work on, that they fired me the most. Anyway, so that idea gave it to me, one of the actors that I interviewed, because I was like so pissed about it. And then she was like, why don't you do a TV show on it? And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, why don't you just record yourself?
That's so cool.
Do like a script and just play all of the characters yourself and record with your phone, and that's it. People are gonna like it more than if you just talk about it. You know, if you have like some comedy, it might work. So I was like, cool, but all of those cool things are happening, but at the same time, I'm like, in order to do that, first I need to finishing uploading all of the videos that I have left, and then once it's done and we have like a and we are starting from zero again, then yes, then I can add new things here and there. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to, put all of them. But yeah, that is
learning yourself, learning your boundaries, your timing, and things like that. Boundaries is a huge word I'm working on.
Yeah, you need to know your boundaries too. Yeah, that's
boundaries
true.
And balance.
And a venting friend.
And what?
And a venting buddy.
Oh, venting buddies. Yes, we love venting buddies.
I love that. And if you could describe your whole career at the moment on a drink, which one would you like? What drink would you choose?
Whiskey neat, because one, I like it, and two, it burns and it takes a strong ass person to drink it neat, and I think it takes a strong ass person to do what I do sometimes. And if you think about it too, it's like a whiskey is like considered a man's world, and I think some of what I do is considered a man's world when it comes with like authority and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna say my career up until now is a whiskey neat.
I like it. Yeah.
Was that? I was like, I don't remember that question on the sheet.
No, I just had it. It is like one of the questions that I do ask now. I was like, I'm just gonna throw
I
that
love
question.
it. That was a good one.
Let's see how we go.
I'm gonna take that and start asking people that. That's a good one.
Yeah. Or another question that I've been working on is, if you could describe a film, or I mean, how could you describe an evening with all of the characters that you have played at the moment gathering together? Or how could you describe like what would be the title of a film from all of the characters you have played to get you have played at the moment, they stuck in a 15-hour flight?
Oh my god, I can't answer that, but I really like the question.
Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna think about that for the rest of the night, and I'm gonna be like, holy hell, like that's a great way of thinking of like script writing.
Really?
I think so. Like if you think of like, let's say I'm bored, like I'm like, I need to write a script. I'm like, I need something, and then you give me that question, and now I'm like, okay, I have experience with all of these characters prior. I put them in a situation, and then what do we see? And then cut out some of the characters. That's a really good prompt, a writing prompt for script writers, I think.
Yeah. I asked that question to someone who have done from horror to comedy to drama to action, and I remember that he was just like, you don't want that to happen. You just don't want that to happen. That would be horrible. But yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, I haven't played any character, but I mean, I would imagine myself like being like with another version of myself in a 15-hour. That's not gonna come.
Or even like putting on like a dice or like a D&D thing and like throwing different characters, and then it's like Spider-Man mixed with the girl from the Notebook. How would that go?
Yeah. Or at the same time, it could be like your angry version, your sad version, your happy version, and your like all of those type of feelings that you have.
I mean, Inside Out, just like Inside Out, the movie.
Yeah. I think we have another idea here. I like that. And what are some of the things that we can expect from you in the future? Like, what can we expect from Meredith from 2022?
So this Saturday, I'm going to be on set producing a film. I'll be producing, script supervising, first AD. So with a lot of low budget films, you have like a slash in your name everywhere. So I have a bunch of different rolls this Saturday, and this is a short film. Not really. I'm not going to go into the story too much, but it follows kind of like an older woman and her kind of facing her past and seeing where that takes her. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to get a little bit more serious in my acting. I've been producing a lot, and I feel like it's taken over a lot for me. So kind of see what that balance of producing and acting is like. I want to get back into classes so badly, and now that kind of things are opening up, I'm hoping that's going to be like a possibility. And then in May, there's a podcaster, Audrey Helps Actors, and she hosts like a self-tape May every year, where there's a challenge of like doing 16 self-tapes in the month of May. So in May, I'm going to do that again. I did it last year, and it's all on my Instagram, my actor Instagram, which is Meredith Michal Acts.
Link in the description below.
Little plug.
I'm going to put it on YouTube, so just
perfect.
Link in the description below, so yeah.
Link in the description below. I've never done that.
Yeah. You can do it now, because it's going to appear.
I did it.
Below. Yeah, it's going to be so cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I have upcoming. Is one of my goals for this year, two of my goals for this year was rediscover my love for acting, because I think it became so stale at one point. So I'm rediscovering kind of that love and that passion and that younger self. And then my other one was to watch a movie a week. So I'm going pretty strong on my one movie a week.
Okay. What are some of the films that you have watched at the moment?
Well, I was on a plane recently and I watched House of Gucci, Dear Evan Hansen, and the King Richard. I downloaded Letterboxd. Do you know what Letterboxd is? So it's like a kind of like a movie diary. So you put the movie that you watched, you rate it, and you can write a little review, and then it saves all of your movies.
Oh, okay.
It's great, and then you can friend other people, see what their review was on a movie. So I've really become addicted to that, and it's really helping me with my one a week, because I can kind of schedule and see what all I've watched, and if I got my number for the month in, and I can look back and be like, oh, did I actually like that movie? Because I have this thing where a lot of the times I'll watch a movie and I'll forget that I've seen it. Whereas this is kind of holding me a little bit more accountable. So Letterboxd.
That's so cool. So it's
link in the description below.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that as well. Just let me know and I'll put it here. So it's like it would be like your own personal like Rotten Tomatoes, let's say. Yeah,
your own personal Rotten Tomatoes. That you can also friend people on and see what they're doing. So I have a few filmmakers that I've like friends that I follow, and we'll read each other's reviews and talk about it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I might add that too. Another thing right here on the platform. Yeah.
There you go.
I like that. And,
yeah, dude. Wait, actually, then you can do yours, and people can like listen or like see what you thought of a movie. Because aren't you? You said you're doing movie reviews.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do have one now.
Add it to Letterboxd.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I actually have. So there's one that I'm currently working on to edit it soon on YouTube, and another for a TV show that I did last week that it's on YouTube, and it's really cool actually. So yeah, those two at the moment, and also I've been kind of working on a third one, and I'm still waiting for another one. Yeah, it's so cool because now that I do that, for example, in one, they gave me free access. That was so cool. That was really cool. I was like,
yeah,
free access to it. That is so cool. So I got to actually enjoy it. That was really, that was really cool. But yeah, like stuff like that is coming out soon. And also, I'm planning to do like my own version of like short, like for example, like 2-3 minute videos of like of a movie review, but like going fast.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, I'm gonna add that because that will have like more. Yeah, it will be cool that people can actually see it. Yeah, cool one. Yeah, link in the description below.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, Meredith, what can I say? your career is badass. We all know that, right? Your career is super cool. You have accomplished so many cool things. The fact that you're not producing and you're now thinking to go back in acting, that is really cool. I understand how challenging and it happens. You know, we were just talking about it a few minutes ago. The fact that it happens that sometimes you just want to quit. You know, and it might be a good decision or not a good decision at the moment, but it just I do believe that sometimes we need to take a break, you know, to kind of get away from a bit and then to come back. Otherwise, it's gonna. I think that if we stay constant on the same thing, like on the same road over and over and over, eventually you're gonna sleep and crash. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
the fact that you're going back, that is really cool. I can't wait to see more of your awesome work in the future. Definitely, if someone needs to reach super heights, because you're totally killing it here.
Thank you. Gosh, you're my best cheerleader.
Always. That's how we roll here. Most of the time. Yeah.
You're the opposite of a venting buddy.
Okay. I'll take that then. You know, something funny that happened now that I remember super quick. There was two actors that got in contact with me saying, "Are you the one who is actually cheering up actors?" And I was like, "Who told you that?" And they were like, "Well, you interview my friend, and my friend told me that you actually do that. So they told me, so I need that. So can you help me out?"
I need that.
Sure.
Oh, that's really sweet.
That was really cool. I was like, "Yeah, sure. Just let's make it happen." And yeah, at the end, I was like, "Yeah, you actually did a good work. Thank you." I was like, "Yeah, anytime." Because like one of the things that I do understand is that we all need. I mean, especially in actors, you know, I do think that actors are kind of the superheroes of this world that we call life, you know, like in all this thing, because, well, basically you guys go through hell, you know, and regardless of how difficult your personal life is sometimes, because we all have those moments, what gets my attention is that when it's time to perform, you manage to give your best, you know, you manage to just like put away all the problems and just put this character on and give the best performance regardless what kind of project it is. That takes a lot of courage, and besides like professionalism, it's not easy, you know, and also, yeah, it is so amazing. And I do think that actors, musicians, producers, directors, writers should get like more recognition, because I do understand there's like more stuff that most of the audience don't know about it, you know, like with films, that sometimes we think, oh, this film was crap, and then instantly they will go after the actor, you know, and sometimes the actor would be like,
it's like, if it's crap, it's not the actor.
That's the thing. And
it's a lot of other things, and maybe it's not even production.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the people funding it.
Yeah, or even sometimes just the soundtrack was horrible and just caused the movie to be not that cool. I mean,
a movie is made or killed in the editing room, I think.
Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, I can understand that. And like when I started Chat with Dan until now, I mean, I have discovered so many things about films and like all the backstage and how to like prepare a character and like all of that stuff that we, the audience, I do believe that we should know, that we should understand that at the end of the day, you're, besides that it's your profession and you're like pros on it, you're still humans, you know, you are human beings as well. So it's okay, and you should get like more, like actors in general should get like more support on it and not be trashed, as sometimes happen like with some movies, you know. And I mean, as long as Chat with Dan stills, I'm gonna make sure that at least on my platform we get the chance to be all happy and supportive, because I do think that we need more of that, especially right now in this whole crazy times. And yeah,
agreed.
And that will be a wrap. That will be a wrap here. But Meredith, again, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate a lot that you gave me the time to make this happen. It's so happy. It's so cool to see you again, and I just can't wait to see more of your awesome job. As I said before, I'm super sure that eventually we're gonna hear from you everywhere, and I'm super sure that's gonna happen soon. So before I send you off, you know how it goes. I need to send you off properly. But I also want to thank those who are watching this right now. Thank you so much. If you're watching it this later, either here on Instagram or later on YouTube or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you follow with Meredith. If you already do it, fantastic. What we're gonna do now is that we're gonna make her viral. Let's put hashtag Team Meredith or hashtag Get Your Venting Buddy, and then hashtag Team Meredith for sure. And also, don't forget to also follow Son Official. Make sure to follow that guy as well. He's super talented also. So basically follow all of Meredith. Yeah, follow everybody who Meredith follows back. And all of those amazing talented people are super cool. And Meredith, now, before I send you off, you know what is going to happen. So and keep killing it, keep being awesome, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please do that. That will be amazing. We need that right now, especially on YouTube. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.